All right. I hear ya. I'll tell you one last time before bed, kiddos. This is the story of the chicken who saved Skyrim. It started like all great stories, with a chicken just trying to cross the road. But this chicken crossed the wrong road at the wrong time. Or perhaps he was exactly where he was supposed to be. You see, the chicken's destiny became clear on that fateful day at Helgen. He felt like perhaps he can be more than just a chicken. Perhaps he was always meant to be more. The way out proved to be quite dangerous, but that's when he learned he's so short, enemies miss him most of the time. I mean, with enough bravery, anything seems possible. Ignore that part. After escaping Helgen, he balked his way down to Riverwood with his new Stormcloak friend. Oh, and with all the excitement going on, he hoped that maybe, just maybe, he could even fly. All it took was a leap of faith. He could not. Back at Riverwood, he met with his new friend's family, and they told him he should get word of the dragon attack to the Jarl of Whiterun immediately. There was no time to relax. He ran to Whiterun as fast as his little feet could take him. The Jarl and his court jester, or wizard or something, sent him on a quest to go find an old dragon stone. It's supposed to help everyone learn more about where the dragons are even coming from. After making his way through the dungeon, he made it to the nice man at the end who was just itching to hand it over. Then returned it to the court wizard and his mysterious hooded friend. It turned out there was another dragon spotted just outside the city, so the Jarl sent only his best men to go handle it. Of course, that also included the young chicken. The time came for the chicken to really prove himself. He had to take on his very first dragon. His first attempt turned him into a spicy deluxe combo. 32 attempts later, and realizing he can use a bow and arrow, the chicken actually did it. It turns out, if you haven't caught on by now, he wasn't just any old chicken. Everyone realized that day that he was actually the Chickenborn, who even had the power to shout. Like most great stories, to learn more about his destiny, he had to make a perilous journey to the top of the highest mountain in the land. He slayed wolves, bandits, other dangerous beasts, made, friends? And even defeated a mighty frost troll. Eventually, he finally made it to the top, or at least to the building right before the top. Waiting for him inside were some wise old men who filled him in on all the Chickenborn exposition he could ever need. They trained him in the way of the Chicken Force and sent him on a quest to find some old horn they wanted to progress the plot. The dungeon containing it turned out to be quite the battle, and also turned out to not contain it. He met these dragon cult guys, and they immediately started picking on him. So naturally, he traveled to their home, found their leader, and pushed him into some sort of acid full of endless agony and pain. Anyway, the horn thief was none other than some lady named Delphine. Delphine and the Chickenborn had a very fruitful conversation. According to her, he's the only one capable of actually killing the dragons off for good. He knew then and there he really was meant for a greater purpose, They set out to go take on another dragon. The last fight went so well, he was real excited about this one. It turns out they arrived just in time to see none other than Alduin himself, bringing a dragon back from the dead. It was time for the little chicken to prove himself in battle once again. This time, he learned to keep his distance and do whatever he had to survive. With one more dragon slain, the legend of the chicken grew larger. It wasn't going to his head at all. Delphine gave him his next quest, quite different from the rest. He was tasked with sneaking into the Thalmor embassy to discover what secrets they may be keeping about the dragons.
And you are? Ah, yes.
As it turns out, he fit in quite nicely here. He was so good, no one batted an eye. Or maybe it was no one lived to see him. I don't quite remember. The wise Thalmor ended up not knowing anything very helpful about the dragons, but they kindly pointed him in the direction of someone who did, by leaving this journal here. The journal mentioned they're hunting for a man named Esbern, who just so happened to be an old ally of Delphine. He's hiding somewhere at a town called Riften. It was up to the chicken to find him before the Thalmor do. The only man in town who seemed to know Esbern's whereabouts needed him to do a little more sneaking around, this time with a little bit of thieving involved.
It's time to face the Jarl's justice.
You know, I really thought I had it this time. Luckily, Brynjolf was just a cool dude and willing to point him to Esbern anyway. The old man probably hasn't seen the daylight in years.
What? No, that's not me. I'm not Esbern.
Or a tasty meal. He was looking at the chicken funny. Esbern told the chicken on that fateful day, in those fateful dirty sewers, that not just Skyrim is at stake, but the fate of the entire world. For Alduin wished to end time itself and start all over again. All hope seemed lost, but little did Esbern know. He's staring right at the Chickenborn he seeked.
Then there is hope.
It was up to him to put a stop to Alduin. Esbern knew of an ancient Blades hideout that contained an old, fancy wall that might just give them a clue on how to defeat the World Eater. They battled their way through the silly Forsworn and made it to the old temple. The wall told the story of how the heroes of old defeated Alduin with the help of a shout. So off he went to the Greybeards to see if they knew more. They did not. So off he went to the actual top of the mountain to see if their leader knew more. He did not.
I do not know the Thum you seek.
So off he went to the College of Winterhold to see if they knew more. The Greybeard's dragon leader did actually explain that the only way to learn about that shout is to go back to when it was used. And the only way to do that is with the help of an Elder Scroll. This handsome gentleman at the college should know where to find one. He did not. He did point him to a guy who is insane, but also probably the only guy in Tamriel that knew where one might find an Elder Scroll.
In the depths of Black Reach, one yet lies.
And so the chicken made his journey to the ancient Dwemer city of Blackreach. It was full of friendly faces. The chicken eventually made it to the contraption containing the Elder Scroll. He simply had to do a quick puzzle that's really simple and didn't take him any time at all, really. And then, for likely the first time in history, a chicken has obtained an Elder Scroll. With the newfound power of bending time itself, the chicken traveled back into the past to witness firsthand how Alduin was once defeated. It was there he met the heroes of old and learned the mighty Dragonren shout. That basically just forces dragons to land for about 10 seconds. But hey, it was enough time for them to cast him forward into time. Waiting for the chicken back in the present was none other than Alduin himself. Looks like someone is about to get clucked. That's his catchphrase now. The The opportunity to test out the new shout presented itself right away. Luckily, it worked like a charm. The battle was hard fought, but eventually, mostly with the help of Parthenax, it was won. It was a sight to behold that day, seeing Alduin yield to the mighty Chickenborn and friend. In order to find out where Alduin's been hiding, the chicken had to convince the Jarl of Whiterun to let him capture a dragon in his convenient ancient dragon-shaped capture device that they still had for some reason. But first, after that extremely difficult battle, the chicken realized it was time for some frickin' upgrades. Now that the chicken was blinged out, he set his sights back on capturing a dragon with the Jarl's help.
But I need your help first.
With the Greybeard's help.
So be it.
With Ulfric's help. With General Tullius's help. Okay, with everyone's help. After the simple task of putting the Skyrim Civil War on pause, he finally had permission to capture the dang dragon, and was one step closer at completing his destiny. This one surely couldn't be much of a challenge after what our heroes faced so far. Oh. In the end, it yielded to the chicken's mighty aura and giant wooden death trap. After being forced into a rather humiliating position, Odahviing was very willing to help.
No doubt you want to know where to find Alduin.
He told the Chickenborn that Alduin was hiding in none other than Sovngarde, the afterlife of the Nords and chickens. The only way to get there, though, is actually with the help of a dragon. So for the first time in probably all of Tamriel, a chicken finally soared through the skies. With that, he was on his own once again, with nothing but the sword on his back. And a ton of health potions, he cleaved his way through to Sovngarde. Nothing could stand in the way of destiny. Then the chicken leaped through the portal, reunited with some old friends.
At long last.
And together, they were finally ready to seal Alduin's fate for good. They say the battle raged on for 5 to 10 days. Or maybe it was minutes. Regardless, on that day, Alduin the World Eater clucked his last breath. With the chicken standing victorious in Sovngarde, the world was saved. What? If you think that's crazy, you really wouldn't believe the time I fought a dragon in the sky, on the back of a horse. Hey, wait. Where are you guys going? It was all true, I swear. So yes, as it turns out, you can absolutely beat Skyrim as a chicken. I did have to lower the difficulty to baby mode a couple of times, but that's besides the point. I hope you guys like this one. The playthrough was total chaos, but it was a lot of fun to make. I'll be back as soon as I can with more stupid challenges. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye.